Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode. So, today we're going to be talking about money mindset. So, I need to get your pen and paper, sit down, listen up, because we need to talk about your money mindset and how it's holding you back. I know last time I did a in-person client session on money mindset, had a breakthrough there. I'm going to talk to you about different ways that your literal subconscious is resisting money, even though consciously you want it. So I'm going to go through all the different examples so you can bring some awareness to where your money mindset is coming in. And then I'm going to ask you a set of questions to help you actually understand why that's coming in, where that's coming from, and how to rewire that. Okay, so let me start with your spending habits. So maybe you are straight upright a reckless spender, or maybe you get to the end of the month and your outgoings are really high all the time and you're always circulating back to being in the same financial position. Now, if that is true, it is usually your inability to hold money, because there's something about holding money that feels uncomfortable to you. And what I usually see with clients is their beliefs around not believing that they deserve the money. So if you don't believe subconsciously that you deserve money or you deserve nice things, why would your subconscious hold that money for you? Obviously, remember, your subconscious drives all your actions, all your behaviors, all your thoughts, feelings, everything that you do. Unless you are consciously forcing that money somewhere that you cannot touch it, that you literally cannot spend it, your subconscious will find a way to spend it, and you probably justify it on things like, oh, it's for business, oh, I needed that, oh, I needed that. But you keep telling yourself that every single time you get to the end of the month and your outgoings are so high. You don't believe you deserve it, so you're throwing it away. It's like people in relationships; they don't believe that they deserve nice partners, and that's why they always judge the nice guys. They don't believe they deserve it. They don't believe they deserve to be treated like that, so they sabotage to push them away. Right? Number two, let's go with holding on to money. Let's say that you're the opposite of spending. You hold on excessively to money. You grip very tight on money. Like, oh, I can't spend on that. Like, oh, I can't spend on that. Da 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 da. Then I would be interested to see what beliefs you have about what happens when you let go of money. So, for example, if I let go of money, I don't believe it will come back to me, or money's hard to make, so I must hold on. So maybe you have some behaviors around holding on to money. Another one, let's just say you're going into a sales call, right? You're going into a sales call and you are, maybe let's say that you've closed some sales, you've been great at that, like you've been on it, you've been like, bang, 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 closing. And then you hit a streak of not closing sales calls. And maybe you go on to the sales call, and I see this a lot with clients. They go on to the sales call feeling tired, in low energy, um, predicting no's. What else they do? They start like stuttering around the price. They start like not focusing in sales calls. They low key don't care if the client doesn't sign up because they're that tired and that exhausted. They just want to be off the call. That is a problem of your ability to handle more success, right? Because if you were if you could handle more success, if you believe that you could handle that person and the money that would come with that with ease, you wouldn't be going on to sales call suddenly feeling tired, suddenly feeling low energy, maybe sabotaging your sleep, maybe sabotaging on going to bed on time, because you believe you could handle it. So I find a lot of people who hit a certain level of success, they don't believe that they can handle any more success. And it's at that point when the overwhelm started to come in, they're getting tired and they start looking after themselves, they start self-sabotage on sales calls, because it's your subconscious is literally blocking you from having more success by bringing in these behaviors that are stopping you from actually bringing that client in with ease, right? What's another one? Not feeling like you're worthy of money, right? So you're consciously, you want those 10K months, you want 15K months, you want 20, 30, 40, 50K months, whatever, fucking 100K months, you want that consciously. But subconsciously, you don't believe that you're worth it. You don't believe that you are good enough for it. You don't believe you're worthy of money, right? So let's say that you say the price, you feel nervous around the price, or maybe promoting or selling online feels uncomfortable to you. You keep avoiding it. You're not doing it. You're putting it off, right? Because you don't believe that you're worthy of that money. So let's just say some overcompensatory behaviors with that would be, you say the price in a sales call and then you feel this need to reassure the potential client on the other end of the call that it's worth it. So you start overcompensating. You start telling them and speaking like you're taking the card details, but you start speaking about something else to try and diffuse the awkwardness that you're feeling in that current moment. But really, it's because you don't believe that you're worth the money. So you're reassuring them is actually you subconsciously reassuring this part of you that's coming in that you are worth it. It's like you're like, shut up, part, we're worth it, we're taking the money, like let's just tell them that we're worth it, like come on. But actually you're telling this part of you, literally a part of you. You're not telling that person that it's worth it, you're telling a part of you. Because if you believed it was worth it, you wouldn't have to convince this person, because your energy on a call, the way that you sit back, you need me more than I need you, I know I'm worth it, I value myself to a T. You wouldn't be reassuring that person, because it doesn't matter if they don't buy into you, because you know you get someone else, because you're worth it, right? Your beliefs, you're not good enough, you're not worth it. Really, really self-sabotage with that. Another one with taking the money on the call, taking the price on the call, is imposter syndrome, right? I'm a fraud. They will think that I'm just taking their money. I'm a scam. No. I'm not good at what I do. So you feel the need to overcompensate. Maybe you give a lot to your clients, like overgive to your clients. Maybe you want to put the price down. Maybe you, again, reassure people on a sales call. Maybe you don't talk and promote things with confidence and talk about what you're good at with confidence, because who am I to say this? I'm not worth it. I'm not that good at what I do. I haven't got enough experience. Maybe you spend your money on courses, you overspend on different like courses, masterclasses, all of these things that aren't actually moving you forward, and you feel like you can't give your clients a good enough service. And what you'll do is you'll overgive to your clients as an overcompensatory behavior, so they see it's worth it and they see the value in it, and they see, oh, she is actually worth this money that I'm investing. Because if you didn't overgive, and let's say that you did promise them XYZ and they didn't get it, then they might think you're a fraud. They might think you're not good at what you do, or who do you think you are selling me this? You can't even get me the result. So again, the imposter part comes in and drives these overcompensatory behaviors around money and around how you show up in your service. Yeah. So I've given you a whole rate. There's so many more. Oh, another one is clinging on, and like because you fear that you'll lose it all. And let's say that your potential is up here, you're a high achiever, you're on it, like you're really good at what you do. But you have this fear that if you go after this, you smash your sales calls, you get all these clients, you get all this money, you go up to here, maybe you'll lose yourself, maybe you won't be happy, maybe you'll end up being burnt out and you'll just lose it all, or maybe it'll be taken away from you and you'll lose it all. So a lot of things I then see around money is holding on a little bit, but also the opposite can come in, where people then excessively spend, because if they sabotage themselves to keep them at this level, then at least they've controlled the losing it all rather than something else losing it all. Another one as well is not checking your bank accounts, not checking your Stripe, not chasing up or following with client payments. Another one I see is like, hey, just letting you know that your payment has bounced. Really need this payment in. Like, please, can you let me know when you can put it in? No rush, no worry, no rush. Sorry, overcompensating. Like, they're paying you for a service. Like, do you think freaking, like, I don't even know who would do that? Like Tesco. Oh, don't worry, I know you haven't got the change. Just come back in next week and pay for the rest of your shopping. No, like, who are you? Come on, boundaries. Like, hello, hey, payments bounce. Let me know when I can put it through. Assertive boundaries. They have a lot more respect for you. You won't get a missed payment again. So all of these different behaviors, like you're bouncing around money, like you're treating money like it's some scarcity thing, and that like you need to make sure that you're really nice to clients, they pay you because this is your only form of income. Like, you see how it's all really, or need to hold on to this money because money's on a pedestal and I'm down here because I'm not worth it, or I need to get rid of this money because I don't deserve to hold it because I'm not that kind of person, or who do I think I am spending this money, or who do I think. Another thing as well, people go into shops and won't spend on nice things, or they'll buy the cheaper option. They have that voice in the back of their head that goes, you don't need that, like, just get a cheap one, you don't need it. And you're working your absolute ass off to pay for things, and you still choose a cheap option, which is fine. But if you're not allowing yourself to enjoy your success, or sit in your success, then really what is the point? So again, it's just a limitation on how you feel when you buy that thing. So let's say you do pick the expensive one. Well, it's like, well, what's the point? Or maybe you receive some judgment for it. Maybe your family has been calling rich people arrogant or rich people selfish, or who does she think she is wearing that, or da 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 da. And maybe that's the belief that you're currently holding, which is driving you to not buy these nice things. So many different limited beliefs around money that are literally cock blocking you from making more money. So I'm going to ask you a set of questions. Get your pen and paper out. Let me just get my questions up. Now, what I want you to do is, I'm not going to sit here and wait for you to answer the questions, obviously, because we're on a YouTube video. I'm going to tell you these questions. I want you to pause the video at each question and then come back to it. And I also want you to comment down below if you found this style of video helpful in the way of like it being more of an exercise video, an awareness building video. And secondly, let me know what you get out of this mostly. Drop me an Instagram. Drop me a message on Instagram at Katie Harrison, N _. You'll find it in here. Anyway, okay, so question number 1. Let me check this mic's still working. Yeah. What would money, if I was in a relationship with money, what would money think of me? So if me and money were in a relationship, if money was my boyfriend, what would it think about me? So when I avoid checking the Stripe payments, or when I pussyfoot around a client paying you, or when I try and overgive to my clients from an overcompensatory point of view and I feel so burnt out because I can't switch off at 8 p.m. because I need to text my client back, what would money think of me? Okay? If I was in a relationship with money, what would it think of me? Number 2, what unhelpful behaviors would make money think that? So what am I currently doing that's so unhelpful that would make money think that about me? So avoiding checking your bank account would make money think that you don't, like you can't make that much money, or you're going to lose it, or whatever. Not charging your worth would make money think that you don't think you're worth me. It's a bit like avoidant anxious relationship. Are you in an anxious or an avoidant relationship with money? So what unhelpful behaviors are you currently doing around money that's making money think that about you? Number 3, what do I want money to think of me instead? What do I want money to think of me instead? Okay, pause the video here. Number 4, what do I need to do in order for money to think that? So for example, if you're the person that avoids checking your finances, if you're the person that avoids checking the Stripe cancel payments, but you need to check them at some point anyway, if you do that first, you will have a lot securer relationship with money. It's the same with avoiding having a conversation with your partner when you fucking know you've got to have one anyway. You know you've got to have a partner. So if you fucking sit there the whole day in a mood with your partner, or you go and avoid it, knowing full well that you've got to have that conversation anyway, that tells me that there's some sort of insecurity or uncomfortability or vulnerability or discomfort around having that conversation that comes from a place of insecurity or lack of, or whatever, yeah, or ego. Okay. You also know that when you have that conversation, you feel so much better immediately. You feel so much better. It feels lighter. It feels amazing. So it's the same with checking your bank account. I say it with clients all the time. Oh, I feel really like out of control, or like insecure about money. I'm like, well, have you checked your finances? Like, do you know what your finances are? Like, do you know what your outgoings like are? Like where are you at with money? They're like, no, I haven't done that in a while. So we'll go and do that. We'll go and check your Stripe payments. Go and sort out the clients who haven't paid. They go and do it. Come back to me. How do you feel? Oh, I feel so much better. Nothing's changed. They haven't earned any more or less money in that 10 minutes. Well, they might have if the fucking client's paid. But that's it. Okay. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What stories do I hold around money? So if I was to say, what is your story? I do want to check this mic because of that. What is your story around money? So money is hard to get. Money doesn't grow on trees. It's hard to make money. Like, making money is hard. I hear that one a lot, and they actually believe that it's hard to make money, which they actually end up self-sabotaging themselves into making it hard to make money. But whatever. Money is the root of all evil. Like, I like money, like that's not who I am, like I'm not that sort of person, and I won't be rich, like I will never be successful. Money is money doesn't grow on trees, like money, all that kind of things. What is your story? Like, what's that story that you've heard growing up around money? Like, what is that story? A couple of lines, whatever comes to mind, comes to mind. So, like, one story that I grew up was like, I don't need that. So, exactly like when I was going to buy things, it's like that little voice would come in my head. I was like, I don't need that. So, when I rewrote that story, it's like, I don't need it, but I want it because I deserve it. So, it's not a need. Of course, I don't fucking need some Prada heels, or of course, I don't need expensive shampoo. I mean, I still use Aldi shampoo, but expensive conditioner. Of course, I don't need to buy steak for dinner, but I want to. And that's the difference. And that's where it comes from, that security. It's like, I want to because I can. Yeah, it's different energy. I need steak. No, I want it. Like, it's different, right? So, what stories are hard around money? Number two, well, part two is that. Where is that story coming from? Where is that story coming from? And whose story is it? Is it your story? Is it your mum's story? Is it your dad's story? Is it your grandma's story? Is it your friend's story? Is it the people you're still hanging around with story? Where is the story coming from? You weren't born with it. So where's that story coming from / whose story is it? And the last question I want to answer that is, well, two parts again. What reframes can I put on this story? How can I reframe this? How can I what can I learn from this? Like, what lessons are there that I can take from this person's story? And part two of that is, what would it look like to let go of that this week? So what could I do, or what thoughts could I have, or what reframes could I have in order to let go of that? So like the one I had, I don't need it, but I want it. That is empowering. Of course I don't need it. I agree with them. I don't fucking need it. No, I don't. But I want it. They have both. I want it, you know? So what would it look like to let go of that? Like, how can you reframe that story? Like, what do you want your new story to be? Now, if you worked with us one-to-one, we would remove this subconsciously. So we'd actually go back to the belief at which you took on, limiting belief around money that you took on in childhood. We would have a close eye on your behaviors around money and your self-sabotage around money, and we'd create safety in your subconscious to, aka, either hold more money, make more money, believe that you could make more money. And now then when we have these new beliefs, these new stories rewritten subconsciously, like we create new neural pathways in your brain, like lessen the old ones, then you don't do any of those